I was at home and I get this call from Ring.
We just received a fire alarm. All okay?
My fire alarm in our cottage was going off. And then it hit me. My parents are at the cottage. The fire had started in the chimney and spread to the roof. Ring Alarm Professional Monitoring dispatched the fire department before we even could dial 911. My name is Kevin, and Ring Alarm helped save our family cottage.
Protect your home today with Ring Alarm. Go to ring.com/Odyssey. That's ring.com/Odyssey.
Odyssey now has hundreds of new exclusive music stations for you to discover your new summer soundtrack.
Get moving with worthy workouts for a cardio sesh fueled by today's top artists.
Hanging with your crew? Throw it back with Picnic Party for old school jams for your cookout.
Or sail away with Odyssey's new yacht rock station, Jugger Yacht.
There are hundreds of new exclusive stations to check out today.
For summer barbecues,
road trips,
or relaxing poolside.
For every mood, every interest, every passion. By Odyssey.
Hey, Ola, it's Miles. Thank you guys for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast.
Have you heard our newest podcast? It's called The Greatest Story Never Told.
Download it today on radio.com. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded every Tuesday at noon.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
We are back, and away we go. Welcome to Season 15 and episode number 3,329. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and Mike Hawk. And you are the Men's Room. On tap today, the return of Who Sucks Less. We will play Profile This. Plus headlines, the Men's Room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Clack, clack. Drinkity jog.
All right, here we go to Nebraska for a delicious crash involving a beer truck and a taco stand. Meanwhile, a man blows up his own kitchen trying to kill a housefly, which did not go as planned. Drunk driver crashes his car into drive sober or get pulled over sign. I'm sure the drunk woman caught chewing on a horse's mane is doing fine. And a man called 911 1,000 times, asking police if they wanted to buy his egg rolls. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, you already know this, but doctors, nurses, paramedics, EMTs, hospitals, they all exist for a reason, and it's because things go wrong. For example, a woman in Russia, she was rushed to the hospital because she felt, quote, unwell. Well, the problem was that a 4-foot snake had crawled into her mouth while she slept. It was successfully removed. She should be okay, but that's not to be confused with a 4-foot snake that bit the kid's penis that was sitting on the toilet. This one was in her throat. Then there's the woman in Spain. Now, she went to the hospital because her vagina was glued shut.
Oh.
And yes, you heard me correctly. Her vagina was glued shut, but it turns out she was trying to frame her ex, ended up getting jail time, but first she had to go to the hospital so the doctors could unglue her lady flap. And then there's the Australian woman who's been to the hospital multiple times, but every visit was voluntary. You see, she's had 5 boob jobs, a nose job, butt implants, veneers, Botox, and fillings. In short, she looks like a microwave Barbie doll, but she believes that the $135,000 were well spent. And she is very, very wrong, but it's her money. And finally, our very own Miles Montgomery. He had a colonoscopy just yesterday, where doctors spent 45 minutes probing his anus. Now, that was a voluntary visit, but it's in hopes of avoiding involuntary visits in the future. And that's what we want to talk about today. No, not Miles's butt, but the idea of getting a medical procedure. And that's exactly what today's question is. Voluntary or not, What was your most recent medical procedure?
Be part of the big show. Call 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. Text 77999 and send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
So we were both at work.
We started getting these notifications from Ring. I'm just like, I checked my camera, and there are these two guys trying to break into my house. I hit the siren on my alarm, and I immediately get this call from Ring.
Would you like for us to go ahead and send the police?
And I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
We just wanted to secure our home. My name is Ina.
And I'm Rohit. And with Ring Alarm, I stopped the break-in on my phone.
Protect your home today with Ring Alarm. Go to ring.com/away.
Professional monitoring requires a Ring Protect subscription.
If 2020 has taught us anything, it's to take nothing for granted. So when you expect hot water and get cold, when you expect the shower to drain and it doesn't, when you turn the furnace on and it won't start, stop freaking and call Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical. 1-800-FREAKIN'.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Oh, the show's and away we go. Welcome to season 15, episode number 3,329. But a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. I know what you're thinking to yourself. These guys work so hard. Surely they need a day off. Well,
I'm telling you.
This show's going to be so spectacular that you'll probably hear it again because, man, we work so hard. Wouldn't it be nice if we had a day off?
I would enjoy it.
Enjoy just going to Camp Diggin'.
I think we deserve it. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Take like a week, go to Camp Diggin'.
Well, the kids went back to school, so, the camp's kind of empty. It'd be nice to have
Oh, no, it's not.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's not. We had our tutorial at Camp Diggin'. Oh, yeah, it's good times.
What a large and in charge program we have for you today. The exciting return of Who Sucks Less. Steve the Thrill Hill, you bring us 3 stories each and every week from the news. It's up to us to determine.
They're not really from the news.
Wherever the stories are from, who cares? But either way, it's up to you to determine which of these 3 stories suck the least. How are we looking this week on Who Sucks Less?
Mike, what do you think? I showed him the stories as he prepares it for social media and all of that, but I think they're all comparable.
Oh, absolutely. It's what did I say? It was all about people that couldn't contain themselves is what I...
You know what? That is, honest to God, what it breaks down to. That's exactly it. So all 3 people and all 3 stories in a situation they felt they could not contain themselves, and hilarity does ensue.
Today in our question, we're going to talk about going to the doctor, going to the hospital. Sometimes it's a good thing that you go, obviously. Sometimes it's the biggest pain in the ass ever, and you don't get the best news in the world. You never know exactly what you're going to get when you go to the doctor.
When you go to the doctor, the best news is just not bad news, right?
Hopefully, that's the way
unless you're going in to see if you're pregnant, you want to be pregnant, and you are in fact pregnant. Otherwise, going to the hospital is just a matter of, hey, you did a physical, nothing seems wrong.
Sure,
you go, great news.
Yeah, and when I went and got my physical, fortunately everything was okay. Nothing was going on with me. But the doctor said, "Look, man, you just hit 50 years old. You need to go and you need to get a colonoscopy. It's that time." And I was like,
colonoscopy. That's the correct name.
What did you call it? You told he was getting a hysterectomy?
Yeah, I told somebody you were getting a hysterectomy.
Man.
That's one ugly woman.
What am I going to play with when I go home now?
The guy was like, that is not right.
So I scheduled this thing, and because of something going on in the office, they had to reschedule, and that's why we were off yesterday. We would have been back after the holiday.
Oh, no, I came in.
But yes, you did come in the morning. I totally forgot. He comes in at 9 a.m.
Totally spacing. I get here at 9 a.m. yesterday, come down the hall, I'm going through email, and BD walks down the hall, and he says, I love seeing you. I said, yeah, what's not to love? And he's like, but I don't think you understand something. I said, well, what's that? He goes, you're not on the air today. I'm like, God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Got out of bed early, came in early, tried to be productive.
I popped in the afternoon just to do like a couple things, just get back in the flow.
Sure.
And I heard the story, and I literally went, he was here at 9 a.m.?
Yeah, what's
wrong with him?
That is dedication on a day.
That's the thing. I'm trying to be a good employee, man. I want to get a little ahead of the curve. For a week, I have done nothing for it. I have looked at nothing. I came in, didn't need to be here because Miles, I forgot, is getting his butt probed.
That's exactly right. So so initially I had it scheduled for a different time, but I was like, all right, well, if this date's open, this date's open. And I get this, the letter with all these things and all the stuff that I got to do. The first thing that I notice is that the guy, and I had to go to a specialist, by the way, because I had a
special butt.
I had a hemorrhoidectomy, 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So I couldn't just go into a regular doctor. I had to go into.
I see why that word is
no. It's a hysterectomy for women.
Yeah,
it's
right.
still there are no dots.
Wrong hole. But anyway, so because I got that thing rebuilt, I had to go to a different doctor.
Rebuilt.
So
you act like you're the bionic man. When
yeah,
you
I do. I used to be a completely different a-hole. Now I'm a brand new one. I've got you like the old a-hole, maybe you didn't like the old a-hole. Either way, brand new a-hole.
It's just weird that your Your orifice is considerably younger than you are.
It's amazing.
It's just strange to me. You have the ass of a 4-year-old child,
I know,
but the body of a 50-year-old man.
And it's amazing, how many years we did like Movember, which is for, when you grow your mustache out, for prostate awareness, colon cancer, testicular cancer, all those things. Well, I figure, look, man, I better go in and get this done. So the first item up for bids is that I have to go in and I have to get a COVID test. Not a big deal. It's a drive-in COVID test. It is right there. The one's like, do you know where this thing is? And I'm like, I look out the studio in the office every day at this thing. Kind of figured that's what it was. It was easy. It's not a big deal. If you, for any reason, think you need to go get a COVID test, if you're getting on a plane to go visit family, or you're getting in your car, or whatever the deal is to drive to visit your, loved ones that you haven't seen in a while, go get a COVID test, call your doctor, and see if they can hook you up. It's not that big of a deal. You go in and you get it done. The only thing was I was worried to death because my idiot kids got COVID. That I was going to get popped on this thing.
It's not COVID shame.
No, I'm just saying.
When it's your kid, they become an idiot no matter what.
They're an idiot no matter what they do. The idiot that didn't clean the pan after she made a grilled cheese. It's an idiot, So anyway,
your kid can get hit by a car in an intersection, not their fault. You're like, my idiot kid got run over.
My idiot kid made the president's dean's list at school for her freshman year.
Oh, damn.
So, I can't give her too much crap about this. But either way, so I go get the COVID test. I'm kind of wondering now that I know my kid's all screwed up, but she's in San Diego, so I don't care. Do I have this thing or not? Because then they got to push this thing forward. All right, all is good, but now I got to do all this prep work. So, and if you've had a colonoscopy, it's not that big of a deal. You know the basic drill. About 3 or 4 days out, you can't eat nuts. You can't eat any seeds, so no pumpkin seeds. So I came in, I grabbed a big handful of your pumpkin seeds, Ted, because I was just so desperate. I was like, seeds! God! Oh, God.
As long as I've known you, you're not supposed to eat seeds. You eat more nuts.
I know.
You specifically are not supposed to.
And you should see the diverticulitis picture. And this is another thing, too, which is amazing about the colonoscopy. When you're all done, they give you a sheet of all the pictures that they see on the inside. Yeah. And it's like going to the mall and visiting Santa. They're all in wallet sizes. So if you wanted, you could just cut them out and give random people pictures of your anus. Here you go. Here's a picture of my inside. It's the same damn size. So 3 or 4 days out, I start doing all this stuff. I got to drink 8 glasses of water a day. If you know anything about me, I'm not the most hydrated guy in the world. So this is kind of different for me. So I'm chugging water. I'm doing all this stuff.
I'm not the most hydrated.
Sunday night, I have my other kid over for dinner, and this is like the Last Supper. You know what I mean? I'm making some barbecue. I'm going to eat my ass off because I know I won't be able to eat until Tuesday afternoon. So this is a Sunday night. All right. And that's a long time for me. So I have to buy all this crap I need to drink. I'm eating frickin' bone broth.
Bone broth's delicious.
Bone broth is really good. Very
but
underrated.
Not if you have to eat it.
Yeah, do you have a soda water or just regular water?
You can have soda water.
Nice.
I'm sitting there sipping on bone broth like I'm, eating miso soup for a day and a half. I've got to drink all this juice. I've got to drink Gatorades. I've got to drink water. And then they prepare, or they give you this huge jug. It's a gallon jug, and you need to mix this stuff in there. You put it in your refrigerator to get it cold for 3 or 4 hours. And then the way it works is the day before your procedure, you are fasting. You're only having liquids.
Okay, Gandhi.
And then from 5 until 7, just like Gandhi.
Just like Gandhi.
Just like Gandhi.
People didn't know this. He wasn't protesting anything. He had to wait 40 days for a colonoscopy. They kept rescheduling.
So I drink half this. By the way, VD is over my house putting in a faucet at this point in time because I am inept.
Man, all your plumbing screwed up.
And thank God he came over to do this because I couldn't use my sink, So he's running a little bit late because there's some crap going on the bridge.
Because he's at work?
Well, no, he had to run home and walk his dog or some crap, right? But then he's coming back home, and the S show that is the West Seattle Bridge and all the traffic and all the crap. It gets rerouted. So we're getting up on the line there where I need to start drinking this stuff. It's between 3 and 5 or whatever the hell time it is. So he shows up. I'm like, dude, I got to start drinking this stuff. So I start drinking this stuff, and he's like, here, hand me this, hand me this. I'm like, gotta go. So I'm running into the bathroom. I mean, it's just coming out like Niagara Falls. It's I'm like, this is insane. And this is from a guy who takes a Metamucil every night. So it's not like I'm not used to, free flowing stools or anything. It just starts running.
You should get that on a T-shirt, get all the chicks.
Running. And I'm like, oh, God, this is fine.
How long are you on the toilet per visit?
It's like a NASCAR pit stop.
Oh, so it's just...
Oh, man, they changed 2 tires. You're out there within 13 seconds.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing. I mean, there's not... I mean, it's like, boom, and then you're like, whoa, holy cow. And then you feel really good, and then I go back out, and 5 minutes later, I'm trying to help Jace with this thing, and then it happens again. Boom. I'm like, oh, my God. So this happens for a while. Basically, I'm looking at all the spinach I had the night before, all the barbecue. It's amazing how fast this stuff comes out. All right. Oh, that's fair. So then I got 3 or 4 hours in between before I'm supposed to take the rest of this stuff between 9 and 11. All right, this is before you go to bed, and this is the final deal. You know what I mean? Like, this is the rest of this jug. So I chug this bad boy down. I feel like around 11ish, 11:30. I'm done with my bowel movements. Everything is going to be great. You know, I go to bed, and here is the only advice that I can give anybody that has ever been through this process or has not been through this process before. It is not a fart. Just remember, it's not a fart. Ever. You can't even squeak one out if you want. I'd give you $1 million if you could fart after you drank this stuff. There's nothing. There's no fart. There's no fart. Okay, but when you're asleep, okay, when you're asleep in the middle of the night, you don't go through this thought process in your brain. And I don't know if you're like me, but like during the day, if you're around other people, you might try to sneak one out. Or you're not pushing real hard or anything like that.
A little more effort goes into controlling the flow.
But at night, you kind of just hold and go, and you fart hard, right? Okay. I mean, like you do. That's like when you're trumpeting at night, like, oh my, you might wake up your partner. Who knows? Either way, I'm not thinking this way. And I'm laying there in bed at 3:00 in the morning, and I farted. But again, there is no such thing as a fart. And this is substantial, okay? So now I realize that I have pain in my bed, all right? It's 3:00 in the morning, and now not only do I have to change the sheet, but I have to change the pad underneath it. I mean, this was no just regular. This was just, I mean, it was like a whale coming up and blowing his blowhole out. You know what I mean? After being down in the great ocean for 10, 15 minutes. I mean, it's boom, and I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. It looked like you got hit by a paintball that was the size of a tennis ball. I mean, just the amount is crazy. And I'm like, oh, that's right, I can't fart.
Does it go straight into the washer, or do you like
everything
hose it off first?
Everything goes right into the washer. Heavy load is what I'm talking about, because that pretty well described what happened there.
And you sleep naked, don't you?
Oh, yeah. This is
how many Tide Pods you dropping in there for
3?
Okay, I was going to ask seriously,
and
man.
Bleach.
Right. Do you think a pair of underwear would have helped at least somewhat?
No. It'd have blown through there like, you know what I mean?
Like tissue paper keeping a panda bear.
Oh, no, there's nothing stopping this, man. This is like draining broth, man. It goes straight through the filter. So I wake up, and now I'm awake. I'm like, oh, God. So I got to wash my sheets. I go and look for sheets. It's 3:30 in the morning. I change my sheets the best that I can. I got to throw one on there, kind of maybe go back to sleep. Wake up in the morning, and then I'm allowed to have, like, fluids up until 3 hours before the procedure.
All right.
So I'm drinking about as much of this stuff as I can. I get to the doctor's office. I get checked in, and basically they explain the procedure that they're going to do. And then there's, of course, always 3 hot women in scrubs who are going to be in there the entire time. They're doing all the prep work. I'm looking. I'm like, oh, God, great. You know what I mean?
What is the prep work? Are you laying on your belly? Do you lay on your back and
you lay on your side?
Stirrups?
You lay on your side. But just in case the situation happened, I did trim up and try to look a little bigger.
Well, of course.
Because I never knew who was going to be looking down there. So I did a little grooming before I went.
Put a little Nike swoosh.
Just in case, you know what I mean? So, yeah, actually, I did the Newport. I did it upside down. So, you know, because I'm woke with the current times. But so I go in there, and they got the thing in my arm, and they say, okay, we're going to give you some propofol, whatever killed Michael Jackson.
Right.
They stick it in my arm. I start to feel this burning sensation. I see the doctor. By the way, according to my sheet, the doctor's name is Dr. Whalen, all right?
All right.
But it's really Dr. Wallen. But the entire time before this, I'm thinking, this guy's going to be wailing on my anus. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Whalen, what a name. Turns out it's Wallen. Anyway, because he's like, I'm Dr. Wallen. I'm like, thank God. I was hoping it wasn't Whalen. So he turned me on my side. And now I see him like, he's starting to put the camera like in my cheeks. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm like looking at the sheriff's badge through the monitor, which I can see. And then all of a sudden, lights out. Like, I'm done. I'm out. Like, I mean, it is immediate. It's like 3 seconds.
That's probably a good time to fall asleep, bro.
I couldn't even count down, yeah? Next thing I know, I'm awake. They're waking me up, and I'm in this separate room, all right? What's playing over the loudspeaker? Michael frickin' Jackson. I am not making this up. I wake up to the same drug that killed Michael Jackson that I was just on. Somewhat of an ironic moment. I was like, oh, my God, you got to be kidding me, man. Really? Anyway, So then they tell me what they did. They went in there and they took 4 polyps out.
All right.
So
how many did they leave in?
They get them all. That's the good thing. When they go in there, they try to get as many as they possibly can.
I would hope. Like, hey, while you're there.
Yeah, they're getting them all out.
That one's way in there.
Yeah, you know what? My hand's getting tired.
Now, those are the things that cause colon cancer.
Right.
So you've got to get those in there. You got to get those taken out. And then they send them to a biopsy, and I find out how cancerous they are or if they're benign or whatever the deal is. And then from then, they will reschedule me accordingly on when I need to come back and take another colonoscopy. So it could be 1 year. I need to go every year. It could be 3. It could be 5 years.
Sure.
It could be the point where it's just 10 years. My bet says that it's safer to go more often than not.
I would think so, sure.
So if you need to go and do this. I mean, hey, look, it wasn't the greatest procedure in the world to be a part of. The procedure itself was very easy as far as what I need to do. I could walk.
Yeah, you're asleep.
I went for like an hour walk afterward, you know what I mean?
How long does it take you to feel normal again? Like when you wake up to Michael Jackson singing you into heaven, like how long?
I will tell you this. I know exactly why I took that stuff. It's the best night's sleep you ever had. I mean, you wake up, man, you feel like you just had 10 hours. I mean, I feel like, all right, let's go do stuff. You know, I'm going to Fred Meyer. I'm doing everything. But, and then they give you the results and they show you, here's where you have diverticulitis. Here's the things we burned or took off. They kind of grab them and just yank them out of your butt. You know what I mean? They took 4 of those things out of there. I guess I got to wait.
Grabbing you. What do they have, like a claw machine? Come on.
Oh, yeah, man. It's amazing. It's
but, dude, if you can't get the teddy bear, I don't trust you to do the surgery.
It's like The Amazing Journey, the way that they put the pictures up there all the time. It's like, step 1, we're just entering. And then they go all the way through the whole thing. Your colon is very big. You know, now I can see why you could stick 2 raccoons in there. There's a lot of room. There's a lot more room than you think. I mean, yeah. And the weird thing about it is.
And it gets bigger as you get older.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And my butt didn't hurt at all. Like, my anus felt great.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
See,
like, does your butt hurt when this is done?
I don't think this was the size of, like, one of those big, flashlights. You know,
right.
I think this is a smaller device. Either that or I've got an amazing stretching butt. I don't know. Because I felt no pain. It's like, you might feel a little bit of pain down there. I'm like, actually, I feel pretty good, you know what I mean? I think I could have handled a lot more, Doc, if you know what I'm saying. But
I'll be back.
Yeah, exactly. So then they give you the wallet-sized pictures. Which are very good. I'm going to cut those up and give them away during the holidays, I feel like.
A lot of people are asking you to.
For a family.
Well, I mean, look, a lot of people have got a colonoscopy. One guy says, Merry Christmas, here's my anus.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone says, man, you have to start handing out these pictures. Another guy's like, I have had 3 of those, and I still have the pictures. I show them to all the guys at work.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Like, here's my bungus.
Right.
Look how clean it looks. I mean, it's as clean as it's ever going to be.
To be fair, I would rather see the inside of someone's butt than the outside.
It's like when you go get your car washed and detailed. You know what I mean?
Okay, to be fair, yes.
This is the best it can look ever. I mean, it's nice and clean in there.
Right.
You shot everything out, the whole deal. So, but I will say this. I'm glad it's done, Steve.
I know. I got to do it, man. I've got to do it. And I will. I'll get there.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's easy. I got a wife who's going to nag me about it until I do it.
Here's all you need to know.
Probe my butt so she'll leave me alone.
You can't just go and do it. So
I know.
What I mean is,
I'm not going to roll. Hey, I'm here for a colonoscopy.
Because I thought about this. Like the day before, there's no way I could have been on the air and drank that stuff and continue to do the show. I mean, there's no time. There's no time. Like when it hits, like I'd have to poop in a bucket in here or something.
No, please don't.
So at least
you were going to try though.
I thought about it.
With the original schedule that you had, I want to say for the original colonoscopy, like, I'll just drink the stuff on the air. And Ted, I think you may have been the one, like, bro,
you can't do that.
I don't think that's going to work out, man.
I just know every time I've drank some of that stuff,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
How long does it take from the time you take, when you take down your first, helping of it or something?
We'd have to ask VD or Jason. I think it was no more than 10 minutes.
Really?
I mean, you can hear your stomach go, you can feel this stuff moving through your body. It is absolutely insane. I mean, you can feel every part of your intestines as this liquid moves down. And I mean, there's no stopping it. It's like Drano for human beings. It really is. Like I thought a big hairball was going to shoot out. Oh, it's all backed up. No wonder.
Hairball and a scrunchie.
Oh my God. Then you get real hungry and you're like, oh man. And then of course I had to go to the grocery store and pick stuff up. So I'm supposed to be fasting, but I need like white grape juice because you can't have anything purple or red. So everything I bought, like I had to buy white cran. And I could drink regular orange juice.
Why can't you drink stuff with color?
There's something about red and purple. I could drink like green Gatorade or lemonade or things like that. But I could not drink any of the.
You couldn't drink like the tropical
punch.
Couldn't drink tropical fruit punch or anything like that. So
as
of
a
course,
black man, this is killing me.
I walk in.
Bro, you've got to understand. Fruit punch, tropical punch, basically the color red. That is the drink I want.
So I'm at Fred Meyer on Monday morning, and I mean, they are hooking it up because it's the holiday. You're like, this is the day you want to eat. So they are making more fried chicken. I walk through the and now I'm getting hungry, man. And I mean, just everything. They never hand out samples in Fred Meyer. I walk by the guy. He's like, would you like a big hunk of cheese to try? I'm like, I can't try that big hunk of cheese, but I'll buy the block. You're like, this is where I'm at. You know what I mean? I'm just like, it was absolute torture. But in the end, no pun intended, it's something that every guy should do. Depending on your doctor, they told me 50, but it could be different for you.
Someone chimes in and says, you're lucky, Miles. I woke up in the middle of mine to the guy snaking it in and out. Wonderful times.
Voluntary or not, what was your last medical procedure? 206-421-ROCK.
I was at home and I get this call from Ring.
We just received a fire alarm. All okay?
My fire alarm in our cottage was going off. And then it hit me. My parents are at the cottage. The fire had started in the chimney and spread to the roof. Ring Alarm Professional Monitoring dispatched the fire department before we even could dial 911. My name is Kevin, and Ring Alarm helped save our family cottage.
Protect your home today with Ring Alarm. Go to ring.com/Odyssey. That's ring.com/Odyssey.
Got a hankering for a sessionable hazy IPA? Elysian Brewing's Contact Haze is just the brew for you. Order Contact Haze and your other favorite Elysian brews like Space Dust from ElysianBrewing.com today for free delivery. ElysianBrewing.com. Must be 21. Please enjoy responsibly.
The men's room is in progress. 99.9 KISW and KISW HD1 Seattle.
Believe this, Steve, when we were gone, they came out with a brand new KISW face mask design.
You sons of bitches.
They didn't consult us or nothing. You'd think that our artistic input would be required in these things, but no.
Yes, I would think that.
Check out 2 new styles of the KISW face mask available now at KISW.com. You got to wear one. You might as well look stylish. I wore mine over the break there. People were commenting on it all the time.
Actually, I realized I wore mine recently, right? It has the lower half of a skeleton on your face. I'm wearing all black. I'm tall. I rolled into this business, and the look on the guy's face, I realized, oh, he's terrified. The guy, honest to God, was scared.
I'm taking what I want.
Right.
Get the brand new KISW face mask, 2 styles at KISW.com. All right, a question. Voluntary or not, what was your last medical procedure? 206-421-ROCK.
A couple of quick comments here. Says, can't get much more recent than 1 week ago today. I'm 45, just had my first of 2 partial knee replacements. Next one will be as soon as I'm fully recovered from the first one. Gotta love genetics.
Just like a dog.
But I have a fantastic medical team, Swedish Issaquah. I cannot repeat the last part of that from Deb. Says, I had surgery on my right knee. 10 days after that, I broke my left ankle. And then 4 months later, I smashed my left foot with a 6-foot big bar with 900 pounds of pressure. Luckily, I had some bone loss in my left foot from the breaking of the ankle, and that's what the doctor told me. I ended up not shattering my foot because of that. So the silver lining is that you broke your ankle. And then this one, I had, oh boy, hydrocelectomy. Any guesses?
Hydrocelectomy.
Selectomy?
It's a surgical procedure to repair the hydrocele, which is a buildup of fluid around the testicle.
Ooh.
They fillet the testicle sac open, cauterize the opening that's allowing the fluid to drain into the testicle, and they say it still hurts after 5 years.
I didn't bring this up, but 2 weeks before this, I just had one of those.
Oh, God, that's right, you did.
That's what I had.
Yeah.
So, yeah, same exact thing.
What is it again?
Hydrocele.
Hydrocelectomy.
It's either like a ball of crap in your satchel, or it's either going to get bigger or it's going to dissipate. I believe mine has dissipated.
Right.
Oh, yeah, you've had a rough, month.
It's been tough down there with the whole thing, the entertainment and dining area.
The kit and caboodle.
Kit and caboodle.
Hello, Anthony. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bichona.
Hola.
So I had an incessant kind of what I thought was a pimple on my left cheek region, right? And it kind of kept falling off, and I thought, well, it's a little weird kind of whitehead, but whatever. I'm going to just, maybe it'll go away, right? And I found myself traveling in Mexico, and I got on kind of a rickety bus, and the reckless driver, he kind of slammed against, I don't know, the side of the curb or something, and kind of burst. And I thought, this is crazy. I still don't know what it is. I still just think it's just an incessant pimple. So I had it looked at, and it turned out to be a cyst that after it was excised, that infected tissue was about the size of somewhere between a golf ball and a tennis ball.
So when you say your cheek, are you talking about your facial structure?
No, I'm talking about my lower cheek.
Okay, all right. I was like, you should have seen that. Yeah,
right.
But that makes sense. I mean, look, you could have been an infected hair. Could have been a lot. Could have been. But how
the hair ultimately, right? But I don't know. I can't really see. I don't really stare at my lower cheek that much.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of thought, it's something that's coming off. It's coming back. I didn't really know why. I didn't know there was all that infected tissue under there.
So. Well, of course, if you did, you'd have gone to the doctor sooner, you know?
It felt fine. When it wasn't leaking, which was a lot of the time, I didn't know I had anything.
How long did you have this thing?
You know what? I had it after it burst in Mexico, I still didn't know. I came home, and I had it for 2 more years after that. I probably had it in total for about, I'm thinking 4 years before I actually...
Jeez. Well, it's like the zit that doesn't go away. So you can pop the top of it, but ultimately what's underneath there, it's like an iceberg.
It still works its way out.
That's where the most part is.
But the thing was it like clear discharge? Was it blood or...
It was kind of blood and a little bit of other action when it did pop. Like I said, it'd be a scab over it. It would be okay. It would seem for a while, and I don't know.
Well, is it gone now? Did they finally get in there and get all of it out?
Yeah, got it out, and it took me for about 4 months for that incision to kind of close up totally.
Is that because you keep sitting on it, or what?
Well, yeah, because it was back there. Every day I would go to the clinic and have them, they would take the packing out and put new in, and it kind of, because he said if I took the packing out, it wouldn't seal up properly, like if I just let it fly.
And understand this, in those areas where those pores are, there's a chance it'll recur. So just in that one pore, that might not happen anywhere else in your body ever again. But if it's going to happen, it's going to happen there again.
Yeah.
So I've had like one removed from my back. Guess what? That thing's coming right back in after they removed the damn thing.
I have a cyst on my neck right now. I've had it the same exact spot twice already.
And you don't have any other ones on any other of your body. Nope. It's the same place every time. So it's like it's a weird.
But at least
it's almost like it never goes away.
But I will say, when it gets to the point that it's going to start releasing stuff, it's like. Yeah.
Time to go.
Because it happens so often or so frequent or it always comes back, does it time out about the same each time? Where you can go all right, man, I got a good month on this.
The first one was on there for a while, no big deal, and then finally I just was like, all right, we got to get it off. The second one kind of started showing up, and within like a month, it was like if I didn't get it lanced, it was going to just pop out.
Mm-hmm. And you realize that the doctor's excitement about...
look, this one.
Yeah. The doctor's excitement about doing this, it's almost like...
doctors love a cyst.
It's almost like a kid still opening up a Christmas present.
Like, ooh!
Yeah, that's what you hear.
We can
like they feel the two thumbs coming together and you hear, oh, yeah, oh, ooh, ah, like they're getting off on
But it smells, and for me, like I'm face down because it's on the back of my neck. Like the whole process is terrible.
And then they take the tissue and they wipe it and they go, look at it. Look at it. Look at what was in there.
Why are cysts so exciting to doctors? More than anything else. You're right. If you go like, hey, man, I just need you to pop something. Like, ooh, good news. I feel like they do a lottery. Like, hey, listen, there's a guy in the emergency room. He wants us to lance something. Who wants this? Ooh, me, I want to lance it.
Because it's not as scary as coming in with something else that's we got to go do serious work on that.
Dennis never rips out your tooth and goes, here it is, look at it in these pliers. I got it, look at it.
You should do that to children.
Ooh, look at that cavity.
Yeah, exactly. You better floss. Voluntary or not, what was your last medical procedure? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Kirsten. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
So, mine happened just before Christmas last year, and me and my siblings go on a trip up to Canada for the weekend as a sibling trip instead of buying Christmas presents for each other.
Good idea.
Yeah, it was really nice. And we're chilling out at a bar, having some drinks, and all of a sudden, I feel like terrible. And it hurts to breathe. And I'm like, part of me is like, is this a heart attack? Am I going to die? And so I'm going back and forth to the bathroom, and they're like, what's wrong? She's like, it's okay. Keep drinking, keep eating. I'll be fine. And after 2 hours of powering through, I was like, I can't do it. I feel like I'm dying. We have to go now. So we all head back to our Airbnb that we had rented for the night. I slept out. All I could think is, I don't want to pay international medical.
No, you're not paying it all up there. Trust me, it's pretty minimal.
I mean, I Googled in the bathroom, and it said, if you're not a citizen, you're paying.
By the way, when I say I Googled in the bathroom, I mean something entirely different.
What did you end up having?
I was a gallbladder. So I had a gallstone. So I actually drove from Canada back down to Puyallup with the gallstone still lodged. The next morning I woke up and I went to the doctor because the pain was still there. And he actually told me, no, you're just constipated. He told me to take 7 doses of Miralax within an hour with 32 ounces of Gatorade, and said by the end of it, my poop will be clear, but I should be fine.
And
then called me back not even 30 minutes because he got the blood results back. I was like, you need to go to the hospital right now. You have appendicitis. Your appendix is quitting. Here's the numbers. Go to the ER now. So I went to the ER and hung out for hours. I ended up throwing up because I had tried to drink what he told me to, and it wasn't constipation. It was my gallbladder, the gallstone, got stuck in the tube that goes down. So everything was backing up into my liver and my appendix and my gallbladder. So all my stuff was shutting down. The doctor came into my room and goes, "Oh my God, you're yellow." Yeah.
First of all,
so much, sir.
Doctors, again, we know that you are not miracle workers. You are not some biblical thing that is dropped from the heavens, but we still rely on you not to say things like, "Oh my God," like you are the one profession we really hope not to hear that. Now, let me ask you this. Since your appendix was shutting down.
Yeah.
What did they explain to you what the human appendix is supposed to do other than attempt to kill its owner?
So not really. They were kind of very vague because I also since I had a blockage in this tube, they wanted the blockage to be gone.
Sure.
But the procedure to remove it would put my appendix in a worse shape than it was at the moment. So they were kind of gambling with, well, do we pull it out now and pull out the appendix too? Or...
I almost want to get elective surgery just to get it... Because the only time you hear about the human appendix is when something has gone wrong.
Somebody.
You understand what the liver does. You understand what the kidneys do. You know what your heart, your lungs, your brain, your skin, your blood cells, your veins, capillary, all this stuff we get, and no one has a hard time getting it. But when it comes to the appendix, it's like, well... We don't entirely know why it's in your body, but the only time we're going to do anything with it is if you almost die.
It's almost like it should voluntarily be taken out if you have a pre-existing condition where you think that could happen.
Like, is it doing anything good when it's there?
But it's also one of those things, too, that, like, almost everybody I know that's had an appendix rupture, like, they're just, like, really ill for, like, a day before, like, anybody figures out what's going on.
But everyone says the same thing. If I hadn't got in there, the doctor said I would have died.
And that's the other, Doc, look, we know. It doesn't matter. You can get a splinter in your finger, right? Just a splinter, but it goes under the skin. Hey, man, can you get this out? And the doctor will take it out. Fairly non-invasive, not a big deal, but somehow they'll still tell you, you know, the piece of wood you got in your finger could have been infected. We'd have to chop off your hand. Like, dude, it's a splinter. Like, stop. I know you feel obligated to tell me how close I was to death every single time I go to the doctor, but relax on that a little bit. And no, oh my God.
I trust the doctor. Doctor told me all kind of weird stuff. I didn't question it all. He's like, take off all your clothes except for your socks. And I'm just sitting there and I'm thinking to myself.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, you know I want to ask him. Why the socks? Like, what's up with the sock? What if I kept one on and kept one off?
You should have put one on your penis and one on your hand.
When you woke up, were your underwear back on?
No. I don't know. No. I was out there.
Were your socks still on?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the thing I can maybe figure out, or maybe because you lose heat out of your feet?
I don't know. Either way, it's just like,
my
hey, man,
socks?
it's like, you got a thing against feet, or like, my feet are pretty clean right now. You know, I washed.
Yeah, you shower before you get surgery or whatever.
Yeah. Voluntary or not, what was your last medical procedure? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Evan. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
Hello. How are you fellas?
We're doing great, Evan. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. It's been a great day.
Well, thank God. For some people, my ass still hurts.
You know what? So did mine. That's part of my story.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right. So I was born with this golf ball-sized lump right on my tailbone.
Which probably looked like a tail that was supposed to be there.
Well, hear me out here. So basically, I was at work one day. I think I was about 20 years old or so, and it really started hurting. I was driving forklift and stuff all day, I'm like, man, this is hurting super bad. So, but men, they don't like to go to the hospital until something's real serious.
Right.
So, it was about a week later, went to the hospital. I was like, I can't stand this no more. And he's like, it looks like you got a cyst on your tailbone. I'm like, okay, he's like, all right, well, we're going to lance it up. It's like, okay, I guess the doctor's got to check my butt now, but which no man probably ever wants. So he lances it open, and he goes, oh, wow, I haven't seen one of these actually ever. I've only read it in books. And I was like, oh, okay, what do you mean? And he just started pulling hair out of it. Tons and tons of hair. I mean, this amount of hair could have given a wig to a small child.
Was it one long hair that had been growing there your entire life?
No, these were like just strands of hair that were growing in basically nothingness, like a ball.
And they just collect under the skin, and I'm guessing they're all gooey and smelly and all this kind of thing.
Oh, of course, yes. It's in some sort of fluid. I'm not exactly sure the technical term, but
hair fluid.
Did he show it to you? Did he go, look, here it is?
Hair fluid. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He showed me the pile of it, but at the end of it, I learned that it's called a pendolidal cyst. And
I've heard of that. Okay.
Yeah, it's something that's formed, during birth.
And it's just. And how old were you when you got your big hairball tail removed?
I was 20, so that was about 10 years ago.
Okay. All right, so did it keep, you said it was about golf ball size when you were born. Did it keep getting larger as you grew older, or did it stay a relative size?
It stayed a relative size until apparently, I guess, it just started getting irritated and filling up with fluid or something like that. But, it's been growing hair there for ever since I was born.
So do you have to go back again, or do they believe that's done?
No, I just kind of reach in there every once in a while, pull it out myself. No, just kidding.
Yeah. No, thanks. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever been with someone who looks like they used to have a tail? You know what I'm saying, right above the tailbone?
Well, no. Didn't you say the chick you were with, it didn't look like she used to have a tail? It looks like she should get her tail removed.
Something like that, yeah, maybe.
You said she had a little itty-bitty, not a monkey tail.
It looked like an Audi, probably like your coach that you remember who had the Audi belly button.
Yeah, Frank Smith.
But he didn't have a tail.
And he was not related to us.
Right. But you said it was just like this. There's like his penis in his stomach. It stuck out.
Yeah, it was alarming.
I mean, but like if you had this thing projecting from your stomach, from your belly button that looked like a penis, wouldn't that like be your first item up for bids as far as...
Before anything else.
I'm going to save up, $1,000 and get this removed. Whatever the deal is. Before I buy like a used car or whatever.
You don't understand the creature that was Frank Smith.
Okay.
Like he never coached me, right? He coached all my uncles and my dad and stuff, right? But... he was legendary for kind of being that guy that always kind of, looked like 50 or 60, had that thing on there, just drank light beers, smoked, whatever. And he outlived, like, most of the dudes in that same age bracket. But, I mean, like, my Uncle Phil tells a story about they're driving to some Carol game, and halfway up, they're just like... what is that smell? Oh, Frank had taken his shoes off.
Oh, God. Frank Smith.
Right. That's why, look, you know me. Anytime there's an athlete, anybody on TV with the last name Smith, I go, oh, there's our cousin.
Yeah.
Every time we talk about Frank Smith, it's like no relation. He is not related to the Perry Place Northeast Smiths.
Voluntary or not, what was your last medical procedure? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Raymond. Welcome to the men's room.
Whiskey and my ex-old lady.
Hola!
Well, this is kind of funny because, let's see, 2 weeks ago Friday, I went in and had my colonoscopy done. And that stuff that you drink is nasty tasting.
It doesn't taste good at all.
What was that?
I said it tastes terrible.
It does. It's terrible. But the results are what they want.
Oh, yeah. No, it works.
Yep. And now I'm sitting in the urgent care right now, or in the garage urgent care, getting ready to go get my testicles checked out because it's killing me.
Are you and Miles on the same thing?
Did we go on vacation together?
Man, I rolled bowling balls down streets and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, man, and the problem with that was that I called my normal doctor, right? I called my doctor, Dr. McCabe. I'm like, hey, I need to get in here, man. And he's like, oh, he's on vacation for the first time all year.
Of course he is.
So, of course, they gave me the hottest nurse doctor in there. So she's sitting there, and I'm like, All right, hot chicks touching my penis. This is cool. So it wasn't terrible, but at the same point in time, like,
but there's something wrong with it.
This is not the ideal situation.
Your infected, disgusting testicles. Do you think this turns her on?
I know it doesn't turn her on. It was just nice to have someone touch my penis. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah, so hopefully you'll get an attractive doctor.
Well, no, wait, what's wrong? Is there like a growth on your testicle or it just hurts?
They say it might be torsioned or something, something wrapped around it, or
ooh, that's going to take you might stay in there for a little while. They'll take care of that right away. Because
I know
that's like someone's got a stranglehold on you. You know what I mean?
Exactly what I understand.
Cue the Ted Nugent.
Right,
that's what he was singing about.
Well, it is, and it's either wrapped around the other one or whatever. And you could.
How does that happen? What do you have to do for that to happen? Like I don't even want to grab my kid's hula hoop. I feel like, oh my God, don't do anything in a circular motion.
It's like the guy who juggles 3 little metal balls in his hand.
Right,
you know what I mean?
It's just that's why you put your jock on when you're swimming.
That's right.
You can protect yourself out there, boys.
Sound advice from your dad. Voluntary or not, what was your last medical procedure? 206-421-ROCK.
So we were both at work.
We started getting these notifications from Ring. I'm just like, I checked my camera, and there are these 2 guys trying to break into my house. I hit the siren on my alarm, and I immediately get this call from Ring.
Would you like for us to go ahead and send the police?
And I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
We just wanted to secure our home. My name is Ina.
And I'm Rohit. And with Ring Alarm, I stopped the break-in on my phone.
Protect your home today with Ring Alarm. Go to ring.com/away.
Professional monitoring requires a Ring Protect subscription.